Crews at Buckhorn Lake spend their day cleaning and preparing for future rain. I'll have the details of what's being done here coming up.
Floodwaters devastate an eastern Kentucky farm, costing the owners $50,000 to $60,000. Now they're trying to get back on track. And help arrives in Whitley County. This is a live look where a Nashville group is handing out supplies to families impacted by the flooding.
A flash flood watch goes into effect Wednesday night as a line of showers and storms moves in overnight. I'll have all those details right on 6.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
One more round of heavy rain is expected tomorrow night before a Valentine's Day weekend break. But will it cause more widespread flooding? Chief Meteorologist Paige Noel has the latest as our Severe Weather Alert Day coverage continues. Paige?
Well, Steve, we do have that flash flood watch out, which is different than what we've seen really the past few days. We've just had that flood watch out yesterday and even last week. So this means that we are going to see heavy rain in a very short period of time. This is also moving in overnight, so people definitely need to be weather aware. It goes in effect 7 p.m. on Wednesday and runs through Thursday at 7 a.m. We'll be just dealing with very, very heavy rain on top of the rain that we've already seen really over the past week or so. Right now, though, getting a much needed break from the rain. Of course, we still have those flood warnings for the Cumberland River and Kentucky River. I think both those areas only expected to get to minor flood stage, but we will keep an eye on all the rivers across the mountains as we head into your Wednesday night and Thursday. Right now, keeping a very close eye on that visibility, seeing some very foggy conditions on top of Buffalo Mountain and looking over into Pine Mountain along US 119. Low-lying areas definitely going to see that fog build up tonight into the morning hours. You could see about 5 miles visibility Jackson Hazard, looking a little bit worse over to Prestonsburg, Pikeville. And like I said, we'll continue to see this tonight, but really all eyes on tomorrow night. We'll talk a little bit more about that coming up in just a few short minutes.
All right, Paige, thank you. In Whitley County, one of the areas hardest hit by flooding, they're getting some outside help. Shiner Church of Christ was contacted by the Church of Christ Disaster Relief in Nashville. They arrived a short time ago with a semi full of supplies. WYMT's Emily Bennett is there live. Emily?
Steve, this morning, Shiner Church of Christ asked the disaster relief team in Nashville to send supplies, and they answered immediately with a semi-truck full. Now, they loaded the truck in Nashville this morning and drove to Williamsburg today, arriving at the convention center with more than 300 boxes of food that will feed a family of 4 for a week. They also have cleaning supplies, water, infant care boxes, box fans, clothing, and much more. Now, the truck was unloaded here at the convention center in Williamsburg by church volunteers, and now they are starting to distribute the items.
We'll sign people up based on the fact that we'll see what their real needs are. There may be needs that we don't even know about when they come, but we'll find out about those extensive needs and be able to try to meet those needs as a church.
Now, families in need are encouraged to come here to the convention center to pick up a box of supplies. Now, some volunteers will be taking boxes out into the community for those who cannot reach the center. In Williamsburg, Emily Bennett, WYMT Mountain News.
Lots of folks coming together, as always, in a time of need in eastern Kentucky. Emily, thank you. One family not only lost their property, but their livelihood. WYMT's Hannah Reynolds talked to the Metters family in Whitley County, where the flood caused around $60,000 worth of damage and is putting their lives on hold.
The Metters family live to farm and farm to live.
We raise tomatoes and stuff like that year round, so this time of year we got our bedding planks, we got our hanging baskets just getting started.
Those plans were put on hold following last week's flooding.
But I'll tell you what, when you've worked your whole life and you watch it float down the river, you look at all your dreams of floating down the river and everything that you've ever worked for all your life leaving, it's hard to put that on the internet.
Now that the water is down, this is what they are left with. They're in the biggest cleanup their farm has ever seen. Officials say the flooding is less than 1 inch away from what it was in '77.
Yeah, we didn't expect for it to be this bigger, but it ended up getting it anyways.
Love and the memories their farm builds is giving them a second wind.
We're just trying to rebuild with what we got.
With that, They're starting back from square one.
We ain't got the money. I don't know how we're going to do it, but I know we will. God will help us build this back. He's never failed us yet, so I believe that it'll be good.
In Whitley County, Hannah Reynolds, WYMT Mountain News.
If you would like to see how you can help the Metters family rebuild their farm, you can reach out to them at the Sally Gap Pumpkin Patch Facebook page. A Pike County road could be closed for a little while longer. Here's what Kentucky 292 in South Williamson looked like earlier today. Crews needed to wait for the slide to stop moving before cleaning up. Since the road is closed, people have had to detour into West Virginia to get to the Tug Valley ARH Hospital. Meanwhile, all this rain also caused this slide on Kentucky 40 in Johnson County. One lane is open this evening, but everyone should also use caution in that area. While some crews are working by land, others, like the marina workers at Buckhorn Lake State Resort Park in Perry County, are out on the water monitoring the flood levels and maintaining areas that have not been flooded. WYMT's Connor James rode along with them today as they prepare for more rainfall.
The waters of Buckhorn Lake are high but quiet.
Just basically us out here.
There's not much out here in the floodwaters except for debris.
But it does make a pretty good mess on us.
For 4 years now, marina manager Ryan Miller has called this lake a second home. And it appears flooding comes with the job title.
Seems like the past 3 years has been the same thing. So, I'm getting pretty good at it at this point.
He makes light of it as he coasts around, dodging logs and trash. But he's also keeping a close eye.
Looks like it's going to get pretty high again.
On the possibility of more flooding along his lake.
Got to keep an eye on it and do what needs to be done when it needs to be done.
The slack at the marina is critical to keeping it in place, so Miller always knows where the levels sit.
Right now, I think I looked at it, it was like 810. Which is above sea level.
Last year's flooding hit nearly 830 feet. And he's hoping that doesn't happen again. But unfortunately,
you always hope that you can get rid of some of the water that you got before the next one starts. But at this time, we didn't get rid of maybe about a foot before it started coming back up again.
An already high lake could mean more problems. In Perry County, Connor James, WYMT Mountain News.
Crews expect another 10 to 12 feet of water if the amount of rain forecasted remains the same. In Powell County, vandals struck at the River Gorge yet again. The U.S. Forest Service posted these photos saying the restrooms at the end of Tunnel Ridge Road and the historic Nada Tunnel have been spray painted. Nada Tunnel is an old railroad tunnel constructed more than 100 years ago and is on the National Register of Historic Places. If you have any information about the vandalism, you're asked to contact the Daniel Boone National Forest. The Floyd County Sheriff's Department is investigating a string of burglaries in the Betsy Lane area. One of the break-ins happened at Betsy Lane Elementary School. This surveillance footage is from late February 1st, going into the early morning hours of February 2nd. Sheriff John Hunt says the thieves left behind 2 cell phones that night.
We get lucky, and the crooks are not the smartest people in the world. So we're in the middle of getting that analyzed and downloaded, and hopefully it's going to give us a clear picture of the person who had it in possession at the time they committed the crime.
Surveillance footage shows one person taking multiple items like backpacks, a computer, and even school supplies. Sheriff Hunt says if you have any information about the burglaries, you can call their anonymous tip line at 606-949-2020. A bill is headed to the full House for a vote. If passed, it would add a new tax on vaping products. The excise tax could raise nearly $50 million during the next 2 years. House Bill 32 would also increase taxes on tobacco products. The Lexington Herald Leader reports health officials are hoping a tax hike will discourage teens from buying those products. They also expect the tax to boost state revenue. One family in Pike County is asking for the community's help to find justice for Clancy Ray Adkins. Just past the 3-year anniversary of his murder, they are no closer to finding the answers they have been searching for. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has more.
It may be a cold case, but the murder of Clancy Adkins is still fresh on the minds of those who love him.
And it's on your mind every day, it never goes away.
February 4th, 2017, Adkins was killed in his home in the Island Creek community of Pike County.
Been 3 years. Don't know a thing.
3 years of heartache and unanswered questions.
You know, I'm 65. I could die tonight, but I would like to know, you know, who done it and why.
They say Adkins was always there for his loved ones, even as he battled cancer.
He was a good friend. If you need any help, he was right there to help you.
And knowing that he was shot in his own home after defeating cancer is hard enough.
I had shot through the house to get him to the front door. Then when he opened the front door, they shot him twice.
Now they just want to be able to sleep at night, knowing whoever killed him is paying for the crime.
If anybody else knows other than the one that done it, they're just as guilty. They're just as guilty as he is, the one that done it, the one that pulled the trigger.
Somewhat of a dead end for Kentucky State Police.
It is a cold case, of course.
But they will not give up, and they need your help to solve the case.
The littlest piece of information could be what blows the case open and maybe make an arrest or find what really happened.
The family says they just hope someone will finally give them the answers they have longed for. In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
The Facebook page Justice for Clancy Ray Adkins is updated by the family as they continue their search. Anyone with information is asked to contact Kentucky State Police at 606-433-7711.
A lot of us have seen about 1.5 to 2 inches of rain over the past 48 hours, and more is expected as we head into tomorrow night. How much more? I'll have that answer coming up next.
Plus, Kentucky lawmakers are assured that a major aluminum mill is still on track for northeastern Kentucky.
When you see new